Hello and welcome to my channel, The Feminine Frame. My name is Natalie, and today we are going to be talking about what men need from women. I have noticed an attitude in society towards marriage that it is supposed to be an equal partnership. That men want a strong woman who is capable of bringing home a paycheck. They want an ambitious go-getter. She's no shrinking wallflower, and she has opinions and is never too timid to share them. This attitude says that women want a sensitive man who shares his feelings. He is a team player who works all day and is still willing to help change diapers, cook, clean. He loves her for the deep conversations they have. This man and woman come together and are the perfect power couple. They each pull their equal weight and are happy and fulfilled. Right? 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 Now, I'm not saying that this sort of egalitarian relationship can't be successful. It can, but not for the reasons we would like to think. And because what we think we know about relationships is wrong, this sort of relationship often fails. How many men do you know who are dissatisfied in their marriage? Their strong and capable wife is too stressed and tired for sex. She never fails to share her opinion and nag him about the smallest stuff. And how many women do you know who are dissatisfied in their marriage? Their sensitive man is constantly complaining about his life. He is either too tired from working all day to pitch in with the chores, or he helps with the chores but then always expects sex for doing his equal share. Sound familiar? That is because our assumptions about what makes a good relationship are faulty. So if men actually don't want a strong woman, and women don't actually necessarily want a sensitive type man, what do they want? Well, today we're going to focus on what men want and need from women. Men want respect. They want loyalty. They want someone who is nurturing. They want softness and beauty. And yes, sometimes they even want sex. First quality that men need from a wife is respect. An ancient man was out all day hunting and warding off saber-tooths and fighting warring tribes, and sometimes even fighting with the men of his own tribe to find his own place. When he got home to his cave, he wanted his woman to be appreciative. He wanted her to see him as her hero. After having to fight all day, he didn't want to come home to his cave and have to fight some more. He wanted to come home, hang up his spear, and be the man in charge for once. And heaven forbid some danger comes in the middle of the night, he needed to know that she would quickly follow his instructions so he could most effectively fight off the danger and ensure her survival. Today's man, after working all day at a job he might not even like and having to swallow his pride to management, isn't really so different from our ancient man. He wants to come home, hang up his briefcase, and know that his efforts are recognized. He wants to know that he doesn't have a fight waiting for him at home. He would much rather his wife be waiting with a hot meal to hear about her hero's day. He wants to be able to trust that his wife has followed the plans that they have made together to ensure the physical and financial prosperity of the family. She is going to happily do what she can to make his life easier. Being generally cheerful, a good listener, supportive of his goals and mission, deferring to his lead, and being submissive are all ways that a wife can show respect for her husband. The next quality that men need in a wife is loyalty. Procreation is the major goal of all life forms. We have not yet figured out the secret to immortality, and so to ensure the survival of the species, we must have offspring. Humans are no exception. We very specifically want our own offspring to survive, our own genetic code to live on. I'm afraid that our caveman ancestors lived before the scientific innovation of DNA testing. In order to ensure that his little cave baby was in fact his, he demanded the absolute loyalty of his woman. Contraceptives and the sexual revolution have made casual sex infinitely easier, both in the ability to find it and the lack of consequences for engaging in such behavior. A man might not care about sexual history or loyalty from a woman he only intends to engage with sexually. But if he is looking for a deeper relationship with you, he very well might. He will expect you to be loyal to him emotionally, but especially sexually. This loyalty is often even applied retroactively to prior sexual history. Many men will care if you have had a lot of sexual partners before him. If you have had what he deems to be too many partners, it signals that you are emotionally unstable and that you are unable to remain committed or loyal to one man. Now, it is said that men are the gatekeepers of commitment and women are the gatekeepers of sex. That is because women want commitment, and it can be hard for them to get that from a man. Men want sex, but getting a woman to pick them for sex when that woman has a line of men waiting is difficult. In the red pill, it is often recommended for women to wait for commitment before having sex with a man. This ensures that you are remaining valuable to your current man and in future relationships should your current one not work out. Most red pill women wait until they are officially girlfriend, but you will also see many women waiting for marriage. By waiting for commitment, you are mitigating your risk and ensuring reciprocation of feeling. If you are looking to be in a real relationship with a man, you need to consider your sexual history. If you have had many sexual partners, which you might sometimes hear referred to as things like N count or body count, then that can signal to a man that you lack the ability to be loyal. It is also a red flag for emotional instability. Many women who start reading about the red pill will get a sense of doom around their sexual history and their ability to get a man. Now, it is absolutely true that having a high body count will preclude you from some men. Just as women have their own standards for dating, so do men, and this is perfectly valid. This is just a reality that you will have to face. But I do want to stress that just because some men will not consider you for their dating pool does not mean that no men will. Work to eliminate any immaturities, insecurities, mental illnesses, or traumas that led you to be promiscuous. If you can show that you have clearly done the emotional work and change, you still have an awesome chance at landing a great man. The next quality that men look for in a wife is a nurturing nature. Going back to our friend the caveman, it should seem quite obvious why he would want his missus to be nurturing in nature. He lived in a time fraught with perils and disease, predators and famine. With the wonderful advances we have seen from science, we have largely removed ourselves from child and infant mortality. For Mr. Caveman, this was a stark reality. Bringing a child into the world and raising the child to adulthood was risky business, but also paramount to the survival of the species. A good cave wife is one who would feed the baby, keep it warm, and stay with it during the day to ensure its safety while the men were out hunting and warring. She might even be willing to bring water and care for her caveman if he became sick or injured, so that he could heal and continue to provide for her and the children. Our modern man, though not usually coming face to face with packs of wolves and most often able to survive catching a common cold, still wants a nurturing woman. I do not think that I am telling you anything revolutionary by saying that children still need to be fed, clothed, and loved. Men still want to ensure that their children are given the best possible care. It is also true that men appreciate a little nurturing themselves. After a long day's work slaying their proverbial dragons, most men would appreciate coming home to a tidy home, a hot meal, and a wife who is happy to see him. You may also find your man to be grateful for the occasional note or well-thought-out gift as a token of your love. He would be appreciative of you listening to him vent after a hard day's work. The next quality should come as no surprise for you. Perhaps the most obvious and stereotypical of all men's needs is sex. It really goes without saying that nature has made the act of procreation pleasurable. Our caveman would have done everything in his power to satisfy those primal urges. Now, I think we have shown that sex is not everything. In red pill lingo, you may come across the terms sexual market value and relationship market value. These are referring to how desirable a woman is sexually versus how much she would add to a relationship. They are not the same. A man will look for a good balance of sexual desirability and what a woman can bring to a relationship, when looking for a wife. For a man who is wanting to start a family, he will look for a partner who is more than just a pretty face. That being said, men do not want only one thing, but they do want that one thing. The amount that they will expect and individual preferences will vary, of course. They want sex, and they want their woman to be enthusiastic about having sex with them. They also want to be able to be enthusiastic about having sex with their woman. Although it is not considered politically correct, I feel that this needs to be said. Most men will be most excited by a woman who is a healthy weight. Now I realize that there are some men who will prefer an overweight or underweight woman, but you will find most success with most men if you try to maintain a healthy body weight. This is a very natural preference for men to have. A woman of a healthy weight would be the most fertile. She would have been more likely to survive childbirth. She would have been better able to outrun predators than an overweight woman, and better able to survive famine than an underweight woman. Now, just as I advise a woman with a colorful sexual history not to despair, I also advise you not to lose hope if you have a little extra weight. This is a very common problem to have in our time of highly addictive and abundant food. A commitment to self-betterment combined with small change and consistent effort will yield tremendous results over time, not only to your physical health, but also to your mental and emotional well-being. You might also consider developing good skincare routines, exercise and diet routines, discover easy hairstyles, and find a flattering personal style. When developing your personal style, you will want to ensure that your clothing is something that you enjoy and reflects who you want to be. You will also want to ensure that it is clothing that will attract the type of man that you ultimately want to commit to you. Now, our list is a bit different from what you may have heard a woman should be. We are told that women should be strong and independent. A lot of men have heard this as well and look for these qualities when dating. But this doesn't lead to a happy relationship. Ladies, I know that you are smart, and I know that you are capable. I also know that many of you need to work or want to continue working. I don't have a problem with that. What I am going to suggest is that the qualities that make you so amazing in your career are not necessarily the same qualities that are going to build a good relationship with a man. Qualities like independence and empowerment don't necessarily lead to a happy relationship, no matter the best intentions and efforts of those involved. A relationship by its very nature is not independent. There are two people. It requires a certain amount of vulnerability and cooperation that is often underdeveloped. While a good relationship does require strength, it is not the kind you may think. The sort of strength required for a relationship is strength of character and resilience. Our modern sense of equality often leads women to feel that housework and child rearing are demeaning, that this drudgery must be split with absolute equality. This kind of attitude often leads to things like scoreboarding, resentment, or perhaps even a feeling of being less than. Being respectful, loyal, nurturing, and enthusiastic is a far better recipe for a lasting relationship and marriage. And really, are these qualities so bad? I would venture to say that most people would agree that these are great qualities to possess. I am also suggesting that these big four are a much better foundation for a marriage than, say, independence, strength, equality, and empowerment. Now, I know we have all heard of that power couple who both have soaring careers, make all decisions together, split all chores and childcare evenly, and they are happy together. I am going to assert that the reason they are happy is because they have that strong foundation, and all the other stuff just happens to be an addition. I also find in an almost ironic twist that for women who choose to stay home and are happy and secure with their man, often gain all the feelings that many women gain from their careers. A woman can become at ease to develop her individual independent talents and interests knowing that she is already loved and cherished. She often finds a sense of deep satisfaction from knowing she is taking care of her home and family. She in equal turn, or even in abundance, has a man who cares and provides for her. The confidence she gains from raising a family of her own and developing her own talents is empowering. So what do you bring to the relationship? If you are looking for marriage, what are you bringing to the table? Are you bringing respect, loyalty, nurturing, and enthusiasm? Do you respect men in general and the role that they play in society? Do you respect the masculine qualities and attributes of the men that you know? Do you show responsibility with your finances? Can you cook and clean and keep a tidy home? These are life skills that both men and women should have. But when you are married, many men will particularly enjoy being the benefactors of those talents. Do you show concern for others? Do you exemplify generosity and kindness? Do you use kind words when talking about others, even when they are not present? Do you wait for a genuine emotional connection and commitment before becoming physically connected? Do you have a healthy diet and exercise routine? Do you have regular maintenance for hygiene? Do you dress well for your body type? If you are already in a relationship or married, do you already show your man respect, nurturing, loyalty, and enthusiasm in the bedroom? Do you let your husband take the lead? Do you build your husband up when speaking to others about him? Do you allow him to take calculated risks? Do you encourage him in his hobbies? Do you follow the family budget? Do you show gratitude and appreciation daily? Do you show excitement when you see him? Are you remaining both physically and emotionally loyal? Are you sometimes the sexual initiator? You will notice that there is still a lot of room for individual preferences in looks, personality, interest, intellect, and humor that a man might look for in his wife. But the attributes of respect, loyalty, a kind and nurturing nature, and good physical intimacy are nearly universal and can be broadly applied. For better or for worse, this is not a broadly accepted truth. If you can master these characteristics, then you can set yourself apart from the competition and also set yourself up for a long and successful marriage. I want to wish you the best of luck, ladies.